Hi everyone, welcome to Weekly Cooking with Becky. First, let me apologize, it's been over a week. It's been a week and a half. Our family finally moved, so I am in my new space for you guys. So it might look a little bit different here, but I'm excited to do future episodes from this kitchen. So now that we are all moved in, I have been wanting to do this recipe for about the last 3 episodes worth. Our family loves peanut butter cups, and it's something that I can't have on a low carb diet. So we are going to make peanut butter cups, and I'm going to make them into bars. If you have a silicone mold and they're in the shape of the cups, the fancy ones, or even cupcake ones, you can use that. I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm gonna do it very, very easy. If you did it with the mold, you would put the peanut butter on the bottom and the chocolate on top. Same routine. I'm just gonna do a 9x9 square pan instead. And then we'll make 16 servings. And it's a 2-day procedure. So when you see the end product, it will actually be the next day because it needs to sit overnight in the freezer. So do plan on giving yourself a little bit of time to do this. If you're not following me yet on Facebook at Living Low Carb with Becky, please go over there and join the group. We would love to have you. We've got some new members coming in, so I appreciate that. And also feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and as always, share out these recipes. Here we go. No bake peanut butter cups, but peanut butter bars. Okay, so what I've already done, just to go ahead and let you know, and then I'll aim it down, is I've taken 4 tablespoons of butter, softened it. I want to say I left it on the counter just a couple hours just to get it nice and soft, and then I've gone ahead and whipped them at high speed. Next, to that, I am going to add 1 cup of some type of natural peanut butter. In other words, no sugar added. No sugar, okay? You want to go, depending on the brand, there's a brand listed in the link. I'm not even using that brand. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not using that brand because it was like $4 more than the one that I'm holding in my hand, and I'm trying not to show you the front cover of it. I just want you to use an all natural. You can use crunchy, you can use creamy, just a natural peanut butter where there's 0 sugar in there. It's peanuts. Okay. Oh, and if you are allergic and you really miss peanut butter cups, use sun butter and you'll be just fine. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna measure out a cup's worth really quickly before I aim down and get that peanut butter out of the way. I don't want you to worry about what brand I'm using. I just want you to think all natural. All natural, as some people say. I'm just measuring this out here real quick. Oh, a tip on natural peanut butters. If you get one where the oil has separated, this particular brand doesn't do that, which I really, really like. But whatever brand you buy, if the oil's at the top, dump the entire thing. This sounds crazy, okay? Dump the entire thing into a big bowl and stir it because you have to refrigerate it anyways. So stir it, then put it all back in the container after it's been stirred, and then put it in the fridge, and you won't be stirring it every time you need peanut butter. So while I'm doing that, little hack for you guys that do have a particular butter you like, but you don't want to stir it every single time. You do not have to, but it does require 5 minutes of work, and then you're golden for the life of the jar. Okay, so I've got my cup measured. I'm gonna add it to the bowl with 4 tablespoons of butter. Let me get that in there real quick. You can totally tell because peanut butter sticks to your ribs. This is gonna be good. It's a good treat. Once it's done, by the way, you can choose if you want to store it in the refrigerator or freezer. If you store it in the freezer, you can either eat them frozen, and some people love to put their candy bars in the freezer, and that's kind of like the same idea here. Or you can still put it in the refrigerator, and it will be at perfect temperature. So you can take it out of the freezer and let it thaw for a few, or eat it hard, or keep it in the fridge. But if you do it in the fridge, eat them within a week. Freezer, you got some time. A little hack, because peanut butter just sticks to these things like crazy. Another hack that I'm gonna do is once I cut them, after I do my demo tomorrow, where I show you what they look like, I'm gonna slice them into 3, 3, 3, 3, like I'm gonna do threes, because we're a family of 3, and I'm just going to put what I'm not eating in the freezer and put one in the fridge. And as we eat the one, I'm gonna rotate over. So you can even do that, and it'll save yourself some time down the road. Let me put this in the sink, and then we are going to add to this 2/3 of a cup of a powdered sugar-free item. Remember, with low carb living, we don't want to use anything artificial, so you could use Lecanto. That's the kind that's mentioned in here. I can't use Lecanto, so I'm using Swerve, and a lot of that has to do with stomach issues. There's stevia baking blends, allulose, those kind of things, but please stay away from your saccharins, your aspartames, your equals, you know, things like that. Stay away from all that stuff. Stay all natural. So you're gonna want one that measures cup for cup, so, but of the powdered kind. If you don't have the powdered kind, you can always take your granular of whatever you're using. I know the top two are Swerve and Lecanto. You can always take your granular and throw it in a blender, and it becomes powdered. So if you're like, I really want to make this and all I have is granular, or just throw it in a blender and make these bars. All right, so I need 2/3 of a cup of the powdered, and I'm using the Swerve. The other thing I personally like about Swerve, it is digestive friendly, but a lot of gluten-free people can use it. It's diabetic friendly. It's not one that spikes sugar levels. So if I had somebody at the house and you don't want that sugary effect to it, then they don't have to worry about it because it's diabetic friendly, and that you cannot say that with all of your sweeteners. So 2/3 of a cup of that. And finally, this is going to be the binder, coconut flour. If you don't want to use what I tell you on coconut flour, I'll tell you the amount of almond flour if you have that in your cupboard. I have both, but I forgot to get out a measuring spoon. Sorry about that, guys. I'm looking as fast as I can. All right. 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. In the recipe notes, it says that if you only have almond flour, or if that's what you want to use, 2 tablespoons is not going to give it a coconutty flavor. I can't stand coconut, but I can do this. But if you want almond flour, it's a full cup. A full cup. So for me, it's just 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. All right, so I have in here now 1 cup of natural peanut butter. No sugar added, please. 4 tablespoons of butter, 2/3 cup of monk fruit powdered, Swerve powdered, something that measures exactly the same. So even if you're not low carb and you come across this, you can still use your regular powdered sugar, but we're gonna live low carb here. And 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, and we're gonna blend it all together. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like. And I usually try to run things through it a little bit. I start on low, and then I just naturally get to a higher speed. Look at that, guys. Oh, that looks great. Okay, so that's that part. I'm just gonna scrape off these beaters real quick. That's your peanut butter part. So at this point, you have to decide whether or not you are gonna use cupcake pans. They actually do make molds for peanut butter cups. things like that. If you're gonna do that, great. You'll need to grease whatever surface you're using, or you can do my way. I made a mess. Okay, you can do it my way. This is parchment paper, cut the side. I did grease just these sides, the clear side, so I can just pull it out of the freezer tomorrow. And I'm gonna put everything in this bowl in there and just flatten it out. Super, super easy. By the way, it smells like a peanut butter cup right now. If you had like smell-o-vision, just so you guys know. It smells really good. Okay. Guys, this is so easy. And I just love that. My whole thing is I wanted to treat myself after the move and not feel guilty about it. So I purposely put this recipe on hold until after the move because there was no time to treat myself last week. Just wasn't there. Okay. So at this time, I'm just gonna smooth this out. So drop by tablespoons into molds until you feel 8 or 9 or 12, I don't know. You decide how thick or thin you want them. Just kind of like the store, you get to buy your own regular size peanut butter cups or jumbo peanut butter cups. So I will tell you, you're supposed to have 16 servings. I'm probably gonna do 9, which will just do 3 by 3. So I'm gonna kind of go jumbo on here, but I'll give you the nutritional facts on servings if you wanna go 4 by 4, or if you wanna make the 16 cups. Alrighty, let me put this in the sink. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this and put it in the freezer so it can start getting nice and cold while we make the chocolate layer. I will be right back. Okay, once you put everything in the freezer, it's time to make the chocolate topping. To make things easier, you can get out a measuring food scale and you can measure out 3 ounces of semi-sweet Lily's, or these are Bake Believe. These are the Walmart brand. You can measure out either one. I will tell you, I went looking for Lily's only because the recipe said Lily's, but I changed my peanut butter. But I will tell you that Bake Believe, I just want to let you guys know so you don't have to worry about it. When you're trying to find an alternative and you can't find Lily's, Walmart does make their own. It's peanut-free, tree nut-free, dairy-free, soy-free, egg-free, gluten-free, okay? Shellfish-free, fish-free, and they make dark chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate, unsweetened chocolate for baking, you name it, they make all of that. This one is the semi-sweet, and it uses stevia. So it uses one of the approved sweeteners. Use the entire candy bar. So instead of me measuring out chocolate chips, I'm just gonna take one of their candy bars. Don't buy the Hershey ones, guys, you defeat the purpose. So you get a candy bar and you wanna break it into pieces because we're gonna use the microwave for the next part of this. So these, they come in squares, so I just broke them up. And you only use a tablespoon. I didn't get myself a knife. I'm gonna use what I'm gonna use later. I'm gonna get another spatula. Tablespoon of softened butter. Put a lid on your bowl because chocolate can tend to burn. And I will be back. I'm going to melt this at 30-second intervals on anywhere between medium and medium high power. Do not go high power because you do not want to burn the chocolate. I'll see you when it's melted. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes just to let you guys know. It did not take that long to melt the chocolate, but it was very hot and I needed to get it to the touch, which gave the peanut butter plenty of time to set up in the freezer and hold its shape. So what I'm gonna do now is just simply pour the chocolate directly on top of the peanut butter. I'll go ahead and aim it down for you guys. Alrighty. Doesn't that just look good, guys? key here with you and your family is patience. You cannot eat these right away. That's the key. It's not like a cake or a brownie and it pulls 20 minutes. We have to let them set and do their thing. Okay. So now that I've got the chocolate in there, I'm just gonna switch it around. And remember, if you're doing the cups, you just wanna start with like a teaspoon, whatever, and then just make sure that every single cup has the same amount. I'm trying not to get the chocolate up. Has the same amount of chocolate. Let's see if I do this a little bit. And it all tastes the same, it all goes to the belly. I just don't want to see my chocolate on, I don't want to see the peanut butter on the top. I want to see chocolate on top. That's really all we're going to do. I'm almost done. About ready to tell you the nutrition facts. This really would be your midday snack. Just please don't use this as a meal. I mean, technically it's you. Eat however you want. I will be using it as every day. Most of us are allowed to snack in our day. So this week, this will be my snack. Okay, do you notice me? This is like, I must have OCD here because I gotta make sure I don't see the chocolate. So there it is, guys. And it's all in a pan. So at this time, I'm gonna put it in the freezer and then I'm gonna tell you all the nutritional stuff, and then tomorrow we cut these open. Alrighty, I don't know about you, but tomorrow afternoon's gonna be great. I might even have a cup of coffee to go with it. Okay, so for the actual peanut butter, just a reminder, 1 cup of peanut butter, 4 tablespoons of butter softened, 2/3 cup of Lecanto, Swerve, or an appropriate powdered sweetener of choice, and 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. Mix that all up, pour it into a bowl. For the topping, a tablespoon of butter and 1 Lily's chocolate bar, or if you can't find that, Bake Believe also has one that uses the stevia. Melt it, pour that on top, set for several hours, or recommended overnight. Serving size is 1 piece. Remember, it makes 16, so it'd be 4 by 4, or your little cupcakes you made. So 1 piece is 150 calories, and most low carb people, remember this is not all, have around 2 to 250 for your afternoon snack. So even if you go 9 by 9, you're just gonna bring your calorie count up about 50 up to the 200 mark. So have a cup of coffee with your thing. You're still fine, basically, is what I'm saying. If you wanna go 9 by 9, you're still fine. But for 16, it's 150 calories. These are in net carbs, not total carbs. The person who did the recipe took out the total carbs because you don't count sugar alcohol, and that's all that is with the stevia. And yeah, so it is 5 net carbs, 4 grams of protein from the peanuts, 13 grams of fat. So you've got your fat in there from the butter. Remember, everything we do moderate, moderate, moderate. So it's got all of that in there. Fiber is 3. So there you have it. And I will be back to show you what they look like once they're all set and we've cut them into our squares and we're ready to enjoy. Hi everyone, welcome back. So today's the second day. The peanut butter bars have been in the freezer all night, and we are ready to give them a try. What I've done is I've already cut them up into servings and stuck 1 set in the fridge and another set in the freezer. I have a set here. I did choose to go a little bit bigger than the 16 squares. It's totally up to you. I want you to see how yummy, delicious they look. Just a reminder that the recipe link will be in the description. Just click on the name of the video and the description will follow, and then there's the link. I really hope you enjoy. These things are wonderful. So with that, happy peanut butter bars. Bye, everyone.